So hello and welcome, and this video is all about ice axes for ski mountaineering. So not ice climbing, not alpine climbing in the summer, just ski mountaineering. So let's dive in. Hello, my name's Searle and I'm an IFMGA guide based in Chamonix, France, and I go out ski mountaineering, climbing, mountain biking, paragliding all the time. You can keep up with what I do on my Instagram page, and if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to my channel. That's the one thing that you can do to really help me push forward, do more of these types of videos, so make sure you click that subscribe button. So let's dive in. We're going to talk about ice axes in a context for ski mountaineering, and there's a few considerations and things that you want to think about when you're buying an ice axe or a set of ice axes for ski mountaineering. So I've got a selection of ice axes here that would all work for ski mountaineering, and I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of each one of them, and that should hopefully give you a better idea about what you need to buy or what you need to have for climbing up a mountain with your skis on your backpack to ski down the other side. So over on this side we have a pretty traditional kind of old school Petzl ice axe. Now this is great, it's got a curved pick which is good for self-arrest. It's not so good for ice climbing, but it works really well in a general mountaineering context. It's got big adze on it, so it's good for cutting steps or building a snow anchor. You know, if you have to dig down into the snow, having a good axe is going to be really useful for this. It's got a straight shaft, so that's really good for plunging into the snow. So if you're boot packing up a couloir or walking along a ridge, having a straight shaft with nothing on it is really useful for plunging down into the snow. At the bottom it's got a spike, so this is going to be good for getting a bit of traction if you're walking up a section of ice or along a ridge. Just stops the ice axe from sliding off the snow surface. So this would be a good all-round kind of mountaineering and general ski mountaineering ice axe. The only problem with this is maybe it's a little bit too long. If you took it down a few, maybe 5 or 10 centimeters, something like that, you'd have a much neater tool that would fit into the rucksack, which is really useful sometimes when you're ski mountaineering. If you've got, skis on the rucksack, and you have to do an abseil, for example, it's really good to be able to put the ice axe in the bag so it's not getting caught up on things. So this is the tool that I use, I'd say, most of the time. It's the Shax Tech. I did a whole video on this tool. Basically, it works as the shovel handle. Yeah, go and check out that video, see my thoughts on this thing. But it's a nice size. It still fits into my bag anyway. It's got a good stainless steel pick. Again, it's an alpine shaped pick, so it's quite good for snow, self-arrest, that kind of stuff. It's got a good adze, so good for making belays and stuff like that. Yeah, a little bit of a curve to it as well. That can be good if you're daggering into the snow on the way up. Just keeps the hand just out of the snow surface, stops you from bruising your knuckle. So yeah, that could be another good option. Here we've got a carbon axe from Rock Ice, which is a Russian company, I think. Now this thing is super light, and I carry this if I feel like I should be carrying an ice axe, but I don't think I'm going to need it. So for example, maybe I have a short section of boot packing that I should have an ice axe in my hand for self-arrest. Maybe there might just be the tiniest little bit of ice to climb up, and I just want something in my hand for that. So having something like this could be a really good option. But it's too lightweight really for most general mountaineering. It's quite a specialist tool, so probably I'd say for most people this wouldn't be a good option. But if you're maybe getting into ski mountaineering, racing or something like that, something like this is worth checking out. But for most people it's just going to be too lightweight. I have actually broken this one. You can see here I've put some araldite to get this adze back in. So yeah, you can start to tell that it is just a lightweight, not very strong thing. So over here is the Petzl Sumtech. Now I use this ice axe for most of my sort of general mountaineering, and it fits in really well with ski mountaineering as well. It has a good spike on the bottom. It's reasonably heavy. It's got you can change the picks out, so you can climb, you know, relatively steep icy gullies with this, or even some sort of easy mix climbing. A set of these tools would be really versatile for sort of steeper climbing. But for ski mountaineering, they're a little bit on the heavy side, especially if you're going to be, you know, spending more time skiing than you are actually climbing up. So, but definitely it's a good solid tool. A set of these would be really good. But yeah, we could shave a little bit of weight off, and that's where the Petzl gully fits in. This is one basically a really lightweight ice axe. Not really good for climbing long sections of black ice, for example, but you could definitely climb up some neve filled gullies, and it's got a good pinky rest. I've put this bit of rubber tape on the bottom of here just to give me a little bit of extra purchase on it. It doesn't really have a spike on the bottom. It's more got kind of a cut off piece of aluminium, and you know, it kind of works as a spike, but it's not really a spike. So these are quite good, and it basically does what it says on the tin. It's a Petzl gully. It's for climbing, you know, easy gullies basically, which a lot of the time when you're ski mountaineering, that's when you need an ice axe, just to get up a section of gully to either get down the backside, or maybe you're going to ski back down the same way. So a set of these, they're actually a very popular kind of tool for ski mountaineering around Chamonix, but that's more of a climbing tool than the sort of more traditional shaped snow tools. It's got a downward pick like this, and you can't replace the head of this ice axe as well, so it's not really going to be ideal for some people. It's just a nice lightweight option, which is quite versatile. So this one comes with an adze and also with a hammer. So having a hammer is a useful thing if you're going to be driving in pitons to do some abseiling. There's definitely better hammers out there, but this does work pretty well for getting in a piton in a pinch. So a set of these could be a good option for, you know, if you're going to be doing more kind of gully climbing and skiing back down, or something that is a little bit more traditional with a classic curve on the pick. Might be better for your general kind of going up a summit, walking up a snowy ridge up to the top. You could also mix and match, so you could have like one of these and one of these, so you've got a little bit more versatility when you're out and about. Yeah, having a few different options is a really good idea. One thing to think about with these kind of smaller ice axes is if you have to use it, you know, as a snow anchor, the actual ice axe itself, this is probably a little bit on the small side. Although it's rated to be used as an anchor, it's probably a little bit too small and lightweight to be you know, of any good. So you need something a little bit bigger to make a good snow anchor out of these. So there's loads to talk about with ice axes. That's just a really brief overview of what would be useful for ski mountaineering. If you've got any questions, then write a comment down below. I tend to read everything and answer. Or if you've got an idea of another video that might be useful, why don't you leave a comment down below as well. Thanks very much for watching. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.